everyone. Happy March. I hope you are doing well. Okay. I don't know why I'm being led to do this. I've not done it before. I've never been led to do it before. So there must be a reason for this. I'm going to throw a regular energy for all of us, and then I'm going to do the signs. So you're going to see this before every video, and I'm going to say I'll timestamp it behind me when I'm done, where the actual video starts, so you don't have to watch this for every single video, okay? But I think it's important for some reason, and I think the energies are intense, but you know what? It's just life. We go with what it is, but when we can be better prepared for the things that come up, we don't make mountains out of molehills. We don't say things we can't take back. We don't blow something up when, in fact, we have to, then go back and try to figure out why I did that and hope that something comes back together, right? So that's kind of the energy that I'm feeling, and it's coming out in the cards too. Okay, we've got Unity is the card, right? And we've got the Knight of Cups. We've got the Four of Cups, and we've got the Sun card. Okay, what I really feel here is, for some of you, I want to caution you against making something out of nothing. And don't think I'm discounting something here. I think that for some of you, you've got a little reminder here that you've got valuable things sitting right in front of you, and you may want to tend to those. For others of you, I think you're realizing that, maybe a situation that you're in isn't what you thought it was. You know what I mean? I think for some of you, you've got people coming into your life right now that are going to be valuable assets to you in some regard or another. For some of you, they're romantic relationships. For some of you, they're friendships. For some of you, they're business partnerships. But I think they're a reminder of there's different ways to do things, and you could maybe learn something here. You know what I'm saying? There's an air through here of not kind of throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You may not initially like this person at one time. You know what I mean? Like, their first impression may be something that sets you back, or that you can't really figure it out. It just doesn't sit well. It's not an instant attraction on any regard. But I think that in further, getting to know this person a little better, or maybe watching what they're really doing, or, I think there was someone that I was watching recently, and I could not get past the antics of his mannerism, right? It was just, it was just uncomfortable, but his content was really good. So once I could get past that, initially, had I not stopped long enough to really listen to what he was saying, I would have been like, oh my gosh, this guy is way too unsettling. His antics were just they weren't a good match for mine. So I thought, right? But I sat for a minute, and I was really continuing to listen more to what he was saying than how flamboyant he really was. And I'm glad that I did, because he was a wealth of knowledge. So that is kind of the scenario that I'm going at here. For others of you too, I think that you may have things that have been bubbling under the surface that maybe you haven't dealt with, or again, when we don't deal with the little things, I kind of don't agree with, don't sweat the small stuff, because the small stuff becomes the big shit that hits the fan when we don't tend to it, right? So these are things where I think some of you have relationships coming in. I think for some of you, I'm going to hit the relationship aspect first. For some of you, I think you may come into contact with someone who's not exactly what you thought they would be. You know what I mean? Like, you're wishing and hoping, and whatever that song is, for this particular type of person. They have to look this way and talk this way and right? I think what may show up for you is someone completely different, but it's what you need, not necessarily what you thought you wanted. And I think that it could be something really spectacular. Okay, for others of you, you're being reminded that we're kind of all the same. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, when push comes to shove, we're kind of all the same kind of people. So you're being reminded of that, and to not. I've got to be honest. I don't have a wonderful feeling behind things that might come up globally this month. I think there's just a lot of unsettled energy. And the issue I've got here really is don't follow false things. If you hear something, check it out. Make sure that it's legit. You know, I have a feeling like the news crews and stuff like that, they're really going to kick up the crazy shit that they're doing anyway, right? So if you're someone who follows the news like it's, you know, whatever, I would be really careful about what you're getting. I'm not saying they're going to be lies or conspiracy theories or whatever the hell it is that they do anyway. I'm not a fan of the news, as you can tell. But I think it's not helping the cause. I think it may divide people and cause really devastating circumstances. You know what I mean? You don't want to, I just feel like this kind of energy is kind of like the major things in life, in history that have passed, that have taken place. And they've taken out a lot of people just for having different opinions, just for looking different or acting different or having a different culture or religion or something like that. You know what I mean? Who gives a shit if someone is different? It has really nothing to do with you. But this is where I'm saying on a smaller scale, this could hit your home in the fact that, you know what, you blow up at a partner because you had a crappy day at work, but you say things that you can't take back. You know what I mean? They may be true, but your delivery may not be something they'll forget. You know what I mean? And that's like kind of breaking your leg. It'll heal, but it'll never quite be the same again. And then the person may be afraid to talk to you about things. You could start something here that you can't finish. You know what I mean? So you may just want to be cautious. That's why I'm saying this. You've got the Sun card here. So it's a reminder that, you know what, see the good in someone and ask your peeps, ask your peeps around you. Look, I may not be at my best, so I'm going to do my best to, but just, you know who I really am. Give me a little bit of wiggle room here because I may not be at my best. And I think it's just these energies that are passing through, and they will. You know what I'm saying? I just think they're a little bit intense. What I'm feeling is like, again, trying to turn a cruise ship in a bathtub. It's going to take a little bit. You know what I mean? So let the things play out. Really cherish the people that are in your life that are of value to you. Really look at the ones that, I know that sounded terrible, but look at the ones that, you know what, maybe there's an expiration date here that's been presenting itself for a little bit. Because what I feel here is, for some of you, it's taking into consideration the gifts that you've currently got. You know what I mean? And for others of you, it's saying here, if you're staying in something because you're afraid this is the best you can get, you've got something coming in around the corner here that could be something really happy for you. You know what I mean? So we need to let things go when it's time for them to go. And that's what I feel. And I think with the Unity card, what it's coming in here to remind you of is that don't be stubborn in certain ways. Don't let people be stubborn in certain ways. Say things maybe a little bit more simply. We've got, you know, Mercury retrograde. It is a big deal. I find it to be a really big deal. And I know people are saying that we go through this a lot, and we do. But look at the times in your life where you say things or you do things where you're like, what the hell was that out loud, and why did I do it? They're big things. You know what I mean? So we can't discount them. So just be conscious of what you're saying. Value the people that are in your life, and take a survey. And it's not just, you know, it's your belief systems too. It's the things you believe in. It's you know, maybe changing things. You know, when you go through your whole life believing something, whatever, and then you come to a point in your life where you're like, you know, I really don't believe this anymore. I really don't want this anymore. I really don't want, you know, I'm evaluating something. Give yourself the space to do that. You know what I mean? Don't poo-poo it or speed over it or not think about it or make that a small thing that can be dealt with later, because that small thing turns into a big thing. You know what I mean? And look at these things. For some of you, you know, the Knight of Cups is kind of just saying to you here, it is an actual person for some of you. And it can be a woman. It's not gender specific. But it's like, kind of, you know, don't be, love is blind, but we're also blind to it. You know what I mean? So don't look a gift horse in the mouth. If you've got someone in your life who you really care about, tell them you really care about them. You know what I mean? Don't assume that they're going to be there, you know, in 10 days and they know that I work really hard. They know that I'm never home. Don't assume that that's okay. You know what I mean? They may just not be someone who really speaks up, but you know, you come home one day and there's the note on the table and they're gone. I see things like that happen in these energies. That's why I'm trying to point these things out here. Cherish the people that are in your life. You know, take responsibility for yourself and the things that you do and that you say, and let other people know that they're appreciated. And if you need something from someone else, speak up about it and see where that goes. You know what I mean? I think that it's a time where a lot of things are changing. I think it's a time where if we let go of things that we know we need to let go of, amazing things sit right in front of us, okay? The Sun card here is a yes card. So whatever you're showing up to your reading for, the answer is most likely yes, right? This card, the Sun card, what I'm really feeling off of it is it's kind of like, again, seeing the good in someone, even if they don't see it yet in themselves. You know what I mean? Like someone may need to grow into a better version of themselves, but you see that in them, right? And you're kind of just holding space for this person. I'm not saying be used and abused and not, you know, I'm not saying stay in a situation because you see how someone could be, right? There's a big distinction between that and what I'm saying. I'm saying that this is something that, you know, the relationship isn't there. The person is not, you know, they're not tanked right now. You know what I mean? Like they're not being an idiot now is what I'm saying. They're not disrespecting you. They're not disrespecting the family. They're not disrespecting, you know, whatever it is. I'm saying that they're just not up to par yet, but you see sometimes relationships really are just holding space for each other. You know what I mean? That's why I'm not a big advocate of getting stuck on these soulmates and these twin flame things. To me, and how I know our soul evolves, to me, I don't believe in that. I think we have a lot of soulmates. You know, I think we have souls that cross our paths for different reasons at different times. I don't think we have one, but I think that people are looking for that one love, which is already yourself. But to get to know that, it needs to be triggered by someone else. Many different soulmates, right? But some are more intense. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm going here. But this is the dynamic where I think we're really going to be seeing things. We're really going to learn a lot about ourselves if we choose to, right? I think for some of you, you've got opportunities also that are going to be sitting right in front of you. Don't be so, don't poo-poo things that could really turn into opportunities for you. You know what I mean? Like explore things. Don't do the hierarchy thing. And that's what I kind of think the Unity card is coming in with, that we're all kind of the same at the end of the day. You can learn things. Like I was giving you that example about that person that I was listening to. He was a wealth of knowledge. He was a little flamboyant though, a little bit more than, so I just had to look away, but I was listening and I got the content that I needed. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the scenario that I'm going here. And I think that it's a great month. I don't think it's a month though really to act on things. Like if you're going to put the kibosh to something or put like a, you know, the end on something, I would wait. Because we've got a lot of planets here that are, things may not be what they appear to be. There's nothing, you can't really lose anything by waiting a little bit until these things calm down. All right, so that's all I'm saying. It's kind of like when a new model of a car comes out or something, they'll always say to you, wait a year to see what the glitches come up in that car, and so that you can get a better version of it. So just sit back and see, but taking what I'm saying and give yourself ample time here to say, you know what, I have worked with this person. I have, you know, I can see a vision here. Maybe we could work together. Maybe, you know, two heads merging something is better than one. Maybe we can work together. Maybe we do things different, but our goal is we have the common goal. You know what I mean? It can be things like that too. So again, we grow through relationships. So this could be on any platform for you. Okay. But I think that there's opportunities here that could so easily be missed, and opportunities here that can't be seen yet because you're under things that need to be cleared out. So that's what I've got for our overall energy. Let's see what we've got here. Hi, Libra. Happy March. I hope you're doing well. Okay. Let me see here. We've got the Sun card, which says your perseverance is rewarded. And I think that this is kind of like the Phoenix rising. I think that there's going to be recognition in here for something. I think that, again, like the other two readings I did today, Leo and Virgo, I think that there's a reason why things have been like they've been. Okay, there's a process to things. I think there's a letting go, and I think that there's a new start to something. Okay, I think that, again, your cards here speak of, and they flew out. Your cards flew out, like you just saw the last card that I was doing with the tarot. It flew out. So that's how your readings have how your cards have come out. They want to be seen. You need to hear these things, okay? So there's something here. And again, the theme is like rising from the ashes, okay? But let's just be honest. Nobody likes to be burned, right? So it's not an easy thing. It's easy to say, yeah, I'm like the phoenix and I rise from the ashes, but while you're, trying to put out the flames, it doesn't feel so good, okay? But there is a bigger purpose here for that, okay? For some of you, it's vitality comes back. Some of you haven't been feeling well and you will come back. A lot of times, and I'm not a medical expert at all, but I can tell you that a lot of times when we don't deal with things, they make us ill, right? They make us tired, sluggish, and a whole shitload of other things. But this is saying you're going to get your vigor back. Your vitality is coming back, okay? You were under the umbrella, I feel, of something that was extremely heavy for some of you. For some of you, it was in reference to a relationship for sure, okay? A one-on-one relationship with someone, partner. Okay, now you've got omens for... I love this card because this is gonna set you free here. Do you see the theme of like the rising? You know what I mean? Like, oops. Like just the phoenix rising and the snakes and the ropes and the flames rising. And you've got wisdom here, right? So we learn something from this. Wisdom is different than knowledge. Wisdom is soul deep. It's like it's what you take into the next incarnation. And I think for you, what you're going through right now, incarnations doesn't mean just lifetimes. You're incarnating right now, I feel, into something something, how do I say this? A whole new part of your life is coming into focus here. It's the illusions. Delusions are very much cleared. You had to go through a lot of dark stuff, right? It's funny because I had a dream last night, and I don't normally dream, but it was about the snakes and the ropes and the like this, like being pulled back. But you were never alone in these things that you're going through. So maybe that's what it is you're never alone in the depths of things, right? But you need to go deep enough into the well to learn what you need to learn, but you're going to be pulled back out. And that's what it had to have happened. So you're coming back out, and you've gained wisdom from this experience. Okay. Now, the other two cards you've got, and again, they flew out, is forgiveness and completion. And I think these cards they look like this, how I see them. The camera must be backwards. You've got forgiveness and you've got completion. Okay, what these cards really mean is, you know what, again, very much like Virgo, why is my life like this? It doesn't fit. This can't possibly be my life. It just doesn't fit, right? Is this some kind of joke? But the hard times that you've had to go through, and I feel that they were pretty substantial, I've gained you wisdom here to do something phenomenal in your life. Now, forgiveness is about, sometimes why are we born into this family? Are these really my parents? What the hell is going on here? I don't feel like I fit in anything, not even my skin, right? But forgiveness is about realizing that, hold on to your dreams. Don't let things, again, like I say, with this card, there is fame and I'm going to read it to you. The sun represents a person who is hardworking, stable, and reliable. Enlightenment leads to discovery, which is your wisdom here, and the pulling out of the well that I saw. Okay. Your perseverance is rewarded. You will gain recognition and acclaim here, okay? Whatever it is that you're doing. I think for some of you, it's really substantial wisdom as far as relationships go, maybe that dynamic there. And for others of you, it's telling you to not let go of your dream here. Whatever it is that you want to persevere towards, you will have a claim for this, okay? But you maybe needed to gain some footing here. You know what I mean? Sometimes we feel like we don't fit in, but we need a really, sometimes more of a stable foundation than someone else might need, right? For something that you're about to do here. But this is about needing to kind of go through the hellfire first to gain the wisdom that you need to sustain whatever it is that you're doing, okay? Now, forgiveness, again, is about not letting go of your dreams. This is too, you know, you could have come from a place that was just really a lot of suffering in your life, right? A lot of orphanages, or people that don't really give a darn what you're doing, or you didn't have a lot of stability in your life growing up and you had to like learn things on your own, right? A lot of the people that I deal with, you know, including myself, had to learn a lot of things on your own. When you're doing that and you don't have consistent great role models in your life, you fall a lot. But in that, you really learn some lessons. So, you know, you have to look at some things from a person, you know, a point of view. And would I change my life? No. Would I change the things I had to go through? No, because it made me who I am today. And I know that I've got resilience to get myself out of situations. I know I have resilience to rebuild my life, is what you're saying. I know I can do this, right? So that's what you're doing. And completion is, sometimes we need to let the story go. We need to let the chapter go. We need to let something close, and we need to forgive people, you know, shitty parents or whatever, or a lackluster lifestyle, or having to live with less than, or having real frugal family life, or, you know, not a lot of something where you think that you were behind the eight ball. You really had the blessings of the world, because those are the things that make you to be sustainable. You know what I mean? Things like that. When we were growing up, we didn't have a lot of stuff. We weren't poor, no, but I think the reason why I like refinishing furniture is because I like to take the things that are there and make something out of nothing. Maybe that's where that comes from. I don't know. But at the time I was like, crap, you know, I want a new dresser, like from a store. And then after that, my mom was like, well, you need to get a little bit more creative then, right? And I did. She would give me free ample to do whatever I wanted to the piece, and I started to love it. And now it's what I do it. It's my release from the world. It's where I can just stop thinking, right? And I really enjoy that. And, you know, I think that I don't know why I'm telling you that story. I honestly don't. I'm a private person. So for someone, maybe you needed to hear that. Maybe you think you were behind the eight ball. Maybe to the day you are resentful of that. But I'm telling you, it builds character, and it makes you strong. And it's not, the game of life is not getting from here to the thing that you think that you want. Because when you get the thing that you think that you want, you'll enjoy it for a moment, but then you're going to want something else. It's human nature. But how do I get from here to here to here? It's how resilient you are. So all the times your butt had to hit the ground, it was to tell you, you know, I can bounce back up. My butt is made of steel. You know, it's that kind of stuff. And that's wisdom. That's wisdom. You cannot take that away. Okay, now your tarot cards. You've got the Four of Swords. What is this? This is our Picasso card, right? Knowing when you need to step away from the noise of the world, collect your thoughts. You may be the only one in here. I get this card a lot when I've got kids that are not doing well in school. The parents are asking, what the hell is wrong with my child? Well, there's nothing wrong with your child. They just don't learn like they're teaching you in school. So do something else. Get this kid involved in something else. Let them tell you what their creative projects are, and let them go. Follow them. They're not, you know, I'm not a medical expert, but a lot of times they'll say, I think my kid has ADD. No, they don't. They're just not interested in the crap that's going on. They have to go to school, yes, but find them an outlet. If they want to learn electric guitar or whatever, paint or do something, that's what this card is saying. It's saying don't discount the creativity, the different aspects that people have. You know what I mean? The gifts that people have, like I said with the furniture thing, they're innate in you. You just don't know that that's what you want, you know. But when someone like a parent or a partner or someone is holding space for you to find your thing, that's what it is. And it's allowing that when this person needs to step back, it's nothing personal. It's nothing you did. It's just, you know what? This person needs a little bit of space right now to rethink things in their life. Sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with another person. We automatically think, well, they're stepping away from me. They could spend time with me, but they want to spend time alone. We all need time to recharge, and that's what this could be about. You know what I mean? You need a little bit of time to process all of the stuff that's going on here. And for some of you, you need a little bit of time to step back to really look at, was this really the way I remembered it? And maybe sometimes some of you need to write a death certificate on something, a place in your life, a time in your life, and just say, you know what, I forgive and I release this completely. I remember, I will hold a good memory, right? Because in everything, there is always a good memory. Hold that, give it its seal, let it go, and go on to what you're doing here. Okay? And you've got the Lover card. Okay? So this is about unity. It's about a whole person, you being a whole person here. And to do that, we need to take some time back sometimes, right? But this is long-term planning. It's wisdom that's getting you there, and I think it's been a long time coming. Okay, but we need to go through these things sometimes, because then we get in places in our lives that are sustainable. And the Five of Wands is saying, I'm bigger than this. I'm not going to be involved in this anymore. I'm not going to let this hold me back. I've got the wisdom. I can fly, and I'm going to go further. I just need a minute to catch my breath. And now I'm going to have the things that are long-lasting and sustaining and make me happy, whole, joy-filled. Life isn't always smiley, but it's solid. This is holding space for someone to do the things that they need to do. And when we go through things like that, we're able to hold space for other people, right? And that's what I think is going on here. It's about, too, not judging yourself or judging other people. The Five of Wands, sometimes it came up yesterday in a reading too, and what this card is it's a five is like I have a choice to make here. I can either stay in the past or I can persevere and move through. And you've got cards that say, I am rising. You are rising now. This is an incarnation in your life that gets you into a different place. It's kind of like you're changing chapters. You're not changing pages, you're changing chapters. And that's what's happening here. And I think it's pretty significant. Okay, there's a lot of wisdom here. Wisdom isn't knowledge and it's not intelligence. It's wisdom. Okay, that's I'm divinely connected here. I can't lose this. The wisdom and knowledge and intellect is kind of where I go with the you can't take things back from here. You know what I mean? Like the lessons that you learn in life, those are things you can't take back from here. I lost my train of thought on this. But that's my point. You can't go back from here. Everything was necessary. Every little thing was necessary. Okay? That's what I've got here. No grudge is worth holding. No grudge is worth helping you stay in the past. Your Sun card here, you will gain recognition and acclaim. Stable, reliable, enlightenment leads to discovery. You find things out, I think, about yourself and what you're really made of. And that's where this goes. And this has nothing to do with anyone else but yourself. You know what I mean? If you've got relationships in here that you need to find forgiveness or forgiveness within yourself, we often forget to forgive ourselves. You know what I mean? And that's how we gain wisdom, though. You know what I mean? I say, don't be afraid to fail at something you truly love. Don't be afraid to fail at something you truly want. Because if you don't fail, you're not going to hang on to it. You're not going to know how, right? So it's a part of that. So that's what I've got here. Things in our lives happen for particular reasons. Okay, we're very quick to judge. My thought came back. It's very good when this happens. Oh, it's very bad when this happens. But that thing that appears to be really bad may be something that saves your butt at one point. You know what I'm saying? Like like, oh, I'll bring it to a really, I had a foreclosure. My house was bankrupt, right? But a month after that, because you couldn't pay your bills anyway, it was too expensive. A month after that, they give a free pass to something. You just lost a huge burden there. That's a win. That's not a loss. You see how things play out. They may not play out like you think they're going to, but they're opening bigger, better, more wise decisions and places for you. Things like that happen. I see things like that happen all the time. Okay, I had a client of mine that happened a couple years ago to her. She lost everything. But what happened after that was it didn't even hit her. She was able to get the rent that she wanted, and none of this was reported because it just got cut. It was that Merrill Lynch thing, right? It happens. So don't think that something is negative. If they raise your rent and you can't afford it, say, oh, thank God, now the perfect place is going to open for me. And it will. Okay, so that's what I got. I hope that I helped you in some way. I think this was a great empowering, you should be proud of yourself reading. Okay, so there you go.